2 years ago, I started learning 3D, and this is what I have managed to do in that time. I started in the Feb of 2020 when COVID was just about to hit my country and lockdowns were just being put in place. I wanted to be an engineer my entire life, and that is why I thought it would be a good idea to learn CAD. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design, and one search on Google about CAD brought me to Autodesk. Since my country was under lockdown, I had a lot of free time in my hand, and I started with Fusion 360. And I managed to learn a lot of things about Fusion in under a month, following tutorials on YouTube and doing my own shit. While I was exploring the Autodesk website, I stumbled across another software called Tinkercad. Now this software was a very bare bones version of a 3D software. It could run on a browser and you could only model in primitives. I spent a considerable amount of time making random crap on this, and one fine day I decided I outgrew the software and I needed something more powerful. And since I could not afford any of the Autodesk software, look at these prices, I finally arrived on Blender. And after downloading Blender, I had done a good day of work and it was time to head to bed. For 8 fucking months. I started off with the donut tutorial, like everyone does, but I got quickly bored of it and made my own donut thing. In the 3 months that followed, I got absolutely hooked on Blender. There was something really rewarding and satisfying about making something that popped in your head that got me absolutely addicted to Blender. I ended up working on many different projects. For some, I followed tutorials. For some, I applied what I learned through different tutorials. And for some, I did my own thing. After this initial period of insane progress, I had basically mastered Blender, and it was time to work on a big project that would make me famous and a millionaire. Or so I thought. The 3 months that followed were the most frustrating and confusing parts of learning Blender. I went into a short film with a bare bones idea in my mind and with little to no planning, and just made shots as they came to my head. It was a mess. There was no continuity between shots and the film did not look visually pleasing. Even though I did not like what I was making, I committed to the project all the way through, and at the end of this period, I had a 2-minute long animation that made me gag every time I looked at it. This left me very demotivated. The months that followed weren't any good either. I started 2 other short films but backed out of them before I could get any meaningful work done, thinking I would end up in the same place as my first short film. This kept me away from trying out new things, and I had hit a wall. The only thing that got me out of this rut was the eventual change in mindset I had about this major L I had been taking for the past 3 months. I stopped seeing every project as a success or a failure and instead focused more on the process of the project. And this helped me become more proficient in Blender, mainly because the process mattered more than the final result. Around this time, I also started taking part in many 3D and Blender competitions. And this really helped me stick to realistic deadlines, and a healthy competition really brought out some of my best works. It did not matter if I won or not, as long as I learned something on the way, it was worth it. And that brings us to today. I am finally working on a short film that I'm really happy with, and I've been posting film logs where I document my process here on YouTube, and I would love to have you here on my journey. I also have a Discord server now where I hang out and post updates on the short film. Link is in the description. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye.